my name is Noelle. Welcome to part 6 of Falling Back in Love with Filmmaking, where I, as a filmmaker, share with you the process of falling back in love with being a filmmaker despite the setbacks and life that happens. Tonight, I went to see Sheep Detectives in theaters, which was a really fun experience. And honestly, I was not expecting the movie to hit me as deep as it did. I truly went into seeing it with a friend just because I was like, this is gonna be a goofy, fun time. And instead, myself and my friend and all of the people around me, when the film ended, were crying and teary eyed. And we're like, this was both a funny film, but also a deeply moving film. And it really reminded me of the movies that I feel like were made between 2008 and 2010. There was this nice kind of blend of these sweet, sentimental, but fun films that didn't need to go super deep into heavy subjects, but didn't ignore their existence either. And it also reminded me a little bit in the humor and some of the silliness, a little bit of the Garfield going to London movie that came out roughly around then. And I loved that movie as a kid, so that was really nostalgic while also being a brand new film that also dealt with things that I loved as a teenager and a young adult, which is Agatha Christie. I'm a huge Agatha Christie fan. So that was really fun. But the part that really struck out to me as a filmmaker was the film's musings on grief. And obviously, the film doesn't go super hardcore. It's got a lot of themes actually kind of built into it. It's got messaging about animals and animal wellness that I loved. And it's got themes of grief and family and identity and the idea of community and how much we should or shouldn't take care of each other and looking out for each other. And I honestly loved all of it and was deeply surprised by all of that. I was, again, not expecting that. I think I'm so used to watching things that are very simple, and this was fun to see something that's fun and not just simple. It reminded me again of those films in the 2008 to 2010 window that had this energy that I really loved as a kid. And so it was really nice to see that, and it was really nice again to see something that talks about grief, because I find myself writing about it a lot and trying to unpack it in so many different ways, because nobody talks about what a living entity grief is, and that it has so many different faces and shapes and modalities. And it's kind of like water in the sense that it has all these variations, and water can be water, but it can also be an ice cube and an iceberg, and there's so much shifts to it all. And it's seasonal, the way that water comes to us in seasons through the rain cycle and all of it. And this film really captured, I think, another just stage of the cycle and of the expression of it, and that was really beautiful to see. And I just found myself reminded that the things that we want to chase, there's always room for, and there's always space for that. And it was really, really pleasant, because I have a really hard time doing that. I get very in my head over what I create. It's very easy for me to get in my head, and I get very discouraged actually a lot of times when I watch things at home, because I watch movies at home and then I'm just sitting and thinking with my own thoughts. And it's been really nice lately to go and see movies like this in theater and then hear the audience and listen to what everybody's talking and see it with someone and hear what they're talking and step outside of my own spiral to be able to listen and be like, okay, no, exactly what I was connecting to is what audiences loved and felt. And again, just knowing everybody was all crying over the same thing just restores your faith in humanity and your faith in audiences as a filmmaker. So it ended up being very nice, and I'm slowly starting to feel positive momentum coming back into my brain as I'm writing more and developing more as a filmmaker, which is honestly just really nice to feel. So thanks, Chief Detectives.